Putang ina mo! Putang ina mo!
What's up YouTube, it's your boy Dashing Kevs and this is the quarterfinals of the TPCCBL Draft League. I am the coach of the Duterte Durants and this week we take on Johan and his Pouting Pelippers. Our opponent this week, Johan, is a fellow Filipino, so we actually had two Pinoys reaching top 8 this season. He was able to defeat first seed Paul last week in a major upset. Hopefully we can stop him this week. His team has some standard rain mons like Pelipper, Ludicolo, Dreadnought, as well as an electric core in Pincurchin, Heliolisk, and Alolan Raichu. The team is very threatening from the special side, especially if we lose our ground type, and he starts using Rising Voltage, under terrain that is. Based on his previous games, it looks like he likes to stack hazards with Skarm, chip mons with Ludicolo under the rain, and then sweep with Max Dreadnought. I'm expecting Pelipper, Ludicolo, Dreadnought, Alolan Persian, Heliolisk, and Amoonguss to come. He could also go Pincurchin and Raichu instead of the Heliolisk and Amoonguss if he wants to be more offensive. So from the team preview, he brought most of what I expected, Rain team with Skarm hazards. The game shouldn't be too complicated. Let's check out the game and see how it went. So I lead off with Cinder as he goes Persian, switches to Pelipper here as we go U-turn. So that was very interesting for me, because normally you would expect the Persian to parting shot or knock off turn 1. That would have been better if he had those moves. So switching turn 1 tells me that he doesn't have parting shot, so it could be interesting what it does have. Having Tox here means we have a free Volt switch. We go back to Cinder here, and since we are Scarf, we are able to get a free U-turn. So the Heliolisk is definitely at 1 hit KO range from any of our mons at this point, and that is also a big threat to the team. On the verge of getting KO'd like in the first few turns. He goes for Weather Ball, does 43 under a crit, so that's good damage, but we are able to wall this thing with our Licky as he goes Skarm over here. We switch to Toxtricity, expecting the hazards. He goes for Spikes, that's fine. We go for Volt Switch here, take him to Sturdy range as we go Cinderace here. I was actually expecting the Skarm to be Rocky Helmet to, you know, maybe take some of our potential U-turns and whatnot, or flip turns if I had it with Vaporeon, as he decides to set a second layer of spikes. Now unfortunately, because he is lefties, our U-turn will not kill from this range. It's like 3% only. So not wanting to risk that, I just go for the Electro Ball here. We take out Skarm, our first kill of the game. We switch back to Licky as he goes Ludicolo. He goes for a sub, very interesting. We are max Pedef here, so we should be able to take anything he wants. I'm just concerned if he's like one of those bulky Ludicolos with, let's say, what's that move? Leech Seed and Toxic, something like that. That could be a problem, even though we have Heal Bell on our Licky here. But that's fine. Rain expires this turn, so he goes for Pelipper. So he actually lost some HP there going for the sub and not getting anything out of it. That may or may not have been the smart play. We go for knockoff, taking out its Damp Rock. So we limit the potential sweeping turns of the Dreadnought from there, as well as Ludi. Goes U-turn on our Toxtricity, and he reveals Beat Up on Persian. Very interesting. I did not expect that. Or, I mean, I guess I didn't really know that it got Beat Up, because Beat Up is one of those moves that's, you know, very gimmicky. But when I saw that he landed 5 hits and he got the flinch, that already told me what I needed to know. So he's definitely King's Rock, meaning this would actually be his best win condition this game. The potential to flinch us, that will be his best win condition. Because we are most likely gonna be able to wall all of his mons, aside from, you know, something that causes flinching, of course. Unless we have Cinder out, because Cinder can outspeed. We switch to Licky. Guarantee we live the beat up. So Licky is definitely a lot bulkier than the Tox. Hoping we just don't get a flinch. She goes for beat up again. Okay, we get a wish off, that's perfect. He goes for work up here, wanting to set up as we go for knockoff. So he was actually expecting us to protect, I can imagine. But we would definitely live the beat up that turn. So he miscalculated there. And because of that knockoff, our victory is almost guaranteed. Because his best win condition has already been knocked off. Goes for gunk shot here, +2. That does decent damage. We go for Yon here as he goes Ludicolo. We go for a wish and the protect. As he goes for sub, we get our health back. And at this point, Ludi has just revealed Hydro Pump, or sub rather. Now, that's very good for us. As he goes for Hydro Pump, we discover that he is Life Orb. So, even the Ludicolo is on a timer, you know, provided he doesn't get HP from Giga Drain, but even then, if we're bulky, then he'll just get a small percentage. He did 26%, that's decent. But our knockoff will do more than 25, so we will be able to win like the long term here. Because he heals like 17% and take like 10% from each attack. We go for knockoff on Pelippers here. He goes for Roost as we go for, I believe, a wish. Yep, wish. Switches to Dreadnought here as we go Toxicity. I was actually expecting something else, or maybe he would do another move, but that's fine. We get our wish back, keep Toxicity healthy. As we go Vaporeon here, now he reveals to be G-Max Dreadnought, going for the Stone Surge. So this actually reveals a lot of what he wants to do. He wanted to set up the rocks using the G-Max moves, so rocks with 2 layers of spikes means that we can't freely switch mons as we would normally, because we would be taking around, I don't know, 25-ish, a little more than 25, maybe 30% each switch. But because we are water absorbed, no rocks coming on today. We go for max knuckle here. That's like the best thing he can do at this point. He could go max rock, but that would remove the rain, so he wouldn't be fast anymore. But maybe that would have been the best play. We go for Yon here just to guarantee that he has to switch, and if he doesn't, we get a free hit. I'm totally fine with Vaporeon going down at this point because we don't really need it. Vaporeon loses to Ludicolo and Heliolisk, so we need our other mons definitely more than that. He goes Dreadnought here, decides to sack it off as we go Volt Switch. We go Cinder Ace here. Guarantee to outspeed everything he has. Now he switches to Heliolisk here. I probably should have just went for Volt Switch, but I just thought maybe he wanted to, you know, stay in. So I go for the Electric Ball. Unfortunately, it only does 6%, meaning the Heliolisk will live the next attack. We switch to Licky. We should be able to wall this completely. Yep, Hyper Voice does 23. We go for a wish. I didn't even need to protect that turn, but you know, just in case it crits. Just in case. You can't really trust mons. He goes for a work up here as we go for a knockoff. We switch to Vaporeon, wanting to sack this off. Now, I didn't really calc the initial attacks of Persian, but he sent me the sets after the game, and I found out that it was actually Technician, which means without Fur Coat, U-turn is gonna do a shit ton to Persian. Probably knock it out from this range if I were to guess. Possibly. It could be a roll, but you know, depending on if he has HP investment. So we're fine having Vaporeon go down there. It definitely done its job. We go for U-turn here. As it goes Heliolisk, that's fine. We don't really care about that. We go Toxtricity here. Guarantee we get a KO this turn, because he shouldn't have anything that can KO Tox at this range. Because even if he went Ludicolo, he's within Boom Burst range, as well as Pelipper. So we get the 2 kills. He goes for Ludicolo here. We go Licky, and the game is practically over at this point. He can't really win. I don't know what was his last move. He revealed like Hydro, Giga Drain, Sub. I don't think we found out what his last move was. I just go for the knockoff here, wanting to give Licky the last kill for the game since he did all the work. And that's gonna be GG, it's dashing. So, an amazing game with Johan. We definitely over-prepared for this game. He didn't really have much he could have done that we did not expect. But to his credit, we definitely did not expect that beat up King's Rock Persian. So that was something that could get him the victory, but you know, you can only put your faith in hacks so many times. It is what it is. We advanced to the semis. I want to give a shout out to Alex, Jadon, Ricardo, and Lord Quack for helping me prep this game. Next week, we will be taking on our training partner, Alex. So unfortunately, this will make it so we can't really practice with each other. So the game could be a toss-up next week. Now, if you like the content, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers!